Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode and welcome back to another video. For today's video, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail, I got the 2023 Cadillac Escalade. It's a sports trim actually, and today I'm going to show you around it and show you what I like about it. Alright, so before I get into why I actually like the Escalade so much, I actually did a full video on the Escalade V, which basically is the same thing as this, and I basically went over in great lengths on what it has and all that type of stuff. So you want to go check that out. The link will be down below, or you can just go through my channel to find it. But yeah, I already did an Escalade V video. Basically that and this has the same thing, really just a few adjustments. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I did a full video on Escalade on that side. And today I was just to show you the infotainment, gauges, and a little bit of other stuff as well on this. One of the reasons why I actually like this Cadillac Escalade so much is basically the interior, and mostly the interior is these gauge clusters. So as you can see, you got this little 3 to 5 inch helper screen right here. As you can see, you control your heads-up display, which is right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. And you control the heads-up display by using these two controls right here, the height, brightness, and all that. You also control your gauge cluster by just hitting that button right here. Control the gauge cluster. As you can see, it's in the standard gauge right here. If you hit map, it will show a map right there. Pretty nice, pretty cool, unless you got something else on the gauge cluster, infotainment. And then you got AR camera right here, right? And it will show basically what you see in front of you but in the screen. Now you may be thinking, why do I need an AR camera in my gauge cluster? Well, it's actually for navigation purposes, really. So once you have a navigation set into the computer infotainment, not your phone infotainment, it will show what direction that you need to take to get there. So instead of looking like on your phone or to the infotainment, it'll show the direction in your gauge cluster. Like the arrows will show where to go to and what road to take, which direction to go to, which is actually pretty nice. Is that so you don't get distracted and all. Pretty nice, pretty intuitive. I really do like that a lot. You also on this screen also got a trip computer, and so it basically show you trip 1, trip 2, all that. Show a bunch of different things as well. So there's that. Pretty nice. But yeah, overall this gauge cluster is actually pretty good. I actually really do like that a lot, how you got 3 different sections of the gauge cluster. I mean, not gauge cluster, but the screen entirely. You know, you got this little helper screen right here, gauge cluster right here, and infotainment. Now the infotainment is actually pretty good. I actually do like it. Very responsive. Like it very much. Very responsive to the touch. And yeah, overall I like this setup very much, which is very nice. Alright, so another thing I forgot to mention with the infotainment is actually very much the camera setup and ambient lighting. But first I want to talk about the camera setup, which is right here. And it shows, you know, your normal camera stuff, you know, normal, wide, and your overhead, and your side, which, you know, so you don't scrape up your wheels. Now this is just the front of it, right? So this is just the front. The back is, you know, the normal, wide, you know, overhead, sides, all that. And then you got your 3D overhead, which I actually do like, but I really do not like the camera quality of it. Now itself it's fine, but the way the Escalade looks in this, it looks very much like 2000 game-ish kind of thing, which kind of sucks. But you know, it does its job pretty well, I will say. But overall, I think they should have done a better job with this, with the way it looks in the camera. Now it does show up very well, I will say that, like, you know, real time and all that, but the Escalade itself looks very 2000-ish, which I don't like. They should have done a better job with that. But yeah, overall this is actually pretty nice, you know, for the 3D overhead. Pretty nice. And you got your trailering for your hitch and all that. So yeah, but overall I think they should have done a better job with this. Now you can't move it with your finger. Unfortunately, you have to use this right here to move around, which kind of sucks because you have to click every time to move and all that. So there's that, but it does respond very well to it, so there's that, which is perfect. Yeah, you got your camera setup right there, which is pretty nice. Alright, so next one I want to talk about is the ambient lighting right here. And your ambient lighting have different colors, so which is on right now, and you can either do 3 things. You can either link it to your drive modes, or have it in demo mode, and all that, or you can change the brightness for it as well. You can move up or down, so there's that. But yeah, you can either link it to your dry modes, which you can just hit right there, link it to your dry modes, and then it will change as well with it. So there's that as well, or you can just have it in demo mode, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you got ambient lighting all across this dash right here. Now it is pretty bright outside, so I don't know if you're able to see it, but there's that. It also does show in the gauge cluster what color you're picking, so like picking that color, that color, that color. So yeah, it will show any other color as well. Now there is plenty of good colors out here to, you know, pick from, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I don't know if you can be able to see it. Hold on, let me show you. Alright, so another thing I like about this Escalade is that you could adjust your dry modes by just hitting this button right here. So all you gotta do is just hit mode right here, and in the infotainment you could just adjust it the way you want, like steering, suspension, engine shift, and all that, engine sound and all that. You could adjust it, and you could just change the dry mode just by hitting the button multiple times right here as well. You also got my mode, where you could adjust it to where you want it to, like the steering could be allowed or whatever, which is pretty cool. So you could just adjust it the way you want it to as well, or you could just go to the standard modes that it has already and just adjust it from there, which is pretty nice. All right, another thing I actually like about this Escalade is that it has air suspension, right? So you control the air suspension by just using these two buttons, right? So if you want to go back up, just hit this button. It will show you in the gauge cluster, right? So you're at the bottom, it shows entry and exit ground clearance, and then you got your normal ground clearance, and you got your extended ground clearance, which is pretty nice. So yeah, it actually will tell you in the gauge cluster right here that it was going up. So it's actually showing you in real time that it's actually doing its job and moving up and down to show you that it's doing it, and just for easy access to get in and out. Alright, another thing I actually like about this Cadillac Escalade, this Cadillac Escalade specifically has Super Cruise. So Super Cruise is basically Cadillac's autonomous driving feature, basically like, think of it just like Tesla Autopilot, but a little bit better. So currently Super Cruise only works on the highway, only the highway, unlike Tesla which works both on roads and highway. This Super Cruise only works on highway. But there's another version of called Ultra Cruise, which basically works on the highway and on the road at all times, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Super Cruise works on the highway only, and you know, you got this little camera right here which actually watches your face while it's moving. So in case it can't, you know, do something, it will let you know. It will blink up here, like it'll start flashing red, or let you know in the gauge cluster, hey, it's Super Cruise not operating or whatever, or it will let you know that you need to pay attention in case, you know, something happens. And if it doesn't, if it lets you know, if it catches you not paying attention, it will shut off or pull over to the side of the road and call 911 if you're not responding. So there's that, which is actually pretty cool, you know. So yeah, it's like at least a nice little feature to have, you know, for a autonomous driving feature. And I would say this is actually better than Tesla's Autopilot, because Tesla's did not have a screen in the front, and so there's that. Alright, so next thing I actually want to talk about with the Escalade is basically the design of it. Now the design I actually really do like. Now I've done a video on the Escalade V already, so pretty much what I talk about on this pretty much the same on this Escalade too, but just a little bit different. But yeah, I do like how the way it looks in the front. The front is very nice. I do like the blade daytime running lights, and how the headlights are very slim in the front. I really do like that as well, to give it a nice looking detail in the front with the blade headlights, blade daytime running lights, which is pretty nice, pretty neat, pretty cool. Actually, we do overall like the way the Escalade looks. Looks not aggressive, but it's tame looking. But that's what Escalade was supposed to be, tame, not exciting or whatever. But yeah, I really do like the way it looks. All right, so what's under the hood of this Cadillac Escalade? Well, there's actually two. So you got a 3-liter diesel engine, was actually very new for this 5th generation Escalade, and you got the same 6.2 liters 6.2 liter V8 from the old Escalade. It makes the same horsepower and torque, 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. This specific version has the 6.2 liter V8, which is pretty nice, pretty good for its size. Alright you guys, so that's actually be it for today's episode. Hope you guys did enjoy my little review on this Cadillac Escalade. Like I mentioned before, I already did a video on the Escalade V with basically this and that has the same thing, just a little few adjustments here and there. So yeah, I already did a full video on that, showing the ins and outs of the Escalade as well. This was just basically a little bit highlight video on the gauge cluster, the infotainment, and a bit of other stuff here and there, because I did not get to cover that in the other video of the Escalade V. So there's that. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy my little review on this Escalade V. Not Escalade V, just a regular Escalade, and catch you guys next time.